Am I the butthole for feeding a kid ethnic food without his parents' permission? Edit. Thank you for being so kind. I tried to read and reply to as many comments I could, but unfortunately I might have missed many too. I sent the recipes to the people who had asked for it, but if I missed out on any, please message me, so I could share. My neighbor, let's call her Linda, is a single mother of a sweet little 7-year-old boy called Ben. Linda and I are always cordial to each other in the hallways, but I don't know much about her. Day before yesterday, Linda asked me whether I could watch Ben the next day for a few hours as she had an important meeting and couldn't find a babysitter, and I agreed. Now, she wasn't paying me, it's just a favor, and I didn't expect her to pay me. The next day, when she dropped off her kid, she gave me his lunch, vegetable sandwich and orange juice, and told me not to give him any candies and that he is allergic to almonds. Ben and I played video games and watched TV and had fun that day. For lunch, I made myself roti and brinjal sabzi. Ben asked me whether he could take a bite from my lunch, and then he ended up loving it and ate 2 rotas. I was happy to see him gulp all that up, but unfortunately, he was full from the rotas, so he barely ate his sandwich. That evening, Linda picked up her son and thanked and left. After a while, she came back and seemed pretty mad at me. She told me that I had no right to force feed her son ethnic food and God knows what's in it. She said that she was trying to transition her son into the vegan lifestyle and I just sabotaged it from giving him food she has never even heard of. I tried explaining her that what he ate is completely vegan friendly and is very healthy and needless to say yummy, or else Ben wouldn't have eaten it all by himself, but she was in no mood to listen. She was saying something about how my food would have been so spicy that it could cause her son to fall sick. I am worried now. I felt that Ben enjoyed his lunch, and he never complained about it being spicy and all, but could he really fall sick? Linda called me a butthole for feeding others' kids without the parents' permission, and I kind of feel like one. I don't know, am I though? Not the butthole. Linda sounds racist. If this had been about trying to convert her son to veganism, which is already a butthole move on her part if her son doesn't want to be vegan, then she would have dropped it when she found out that the dish was vegan friendly. Instead, she kept complaining because it was scary foreign food. Not just foreign food, but gasp, it wasn't white people food. Original poster is not the butthole, and feel sorry for the poor kid growing up with a racist mother. How dare you feed my child with healthy vegan foreign food instead of my yummy greasy butt American McDonald's cheeseburgers that he so craves? Anyway, not the butthole. This could have been educational for the kid, but his mom ruined it by being bigoted. Don't he's eating a cheeseburger if she's transitioning him to vegan and pissed that the food possibly wasn't vegan. I have a feeling this woman would have been kinder if it had been a burger. I have a feeling she isn't transitioning him to vegan but knows that people will call her out for going on a racist tirade. I don't know, a vegetable sandwich for lunch does make that plausible, but you may be right. I'm still wondering what the hell a vegetable sandwich is. Just to point out, original poster states that the mother gave a vegetable sandwich and orange juice for the kid's lunch, so the kid is already being fed vegetables. I totally agree. She's the first vegan I've ever heard of who doesn't appreciate Indian cuisine. If I had to be vegan, most of my food would be Indian. The spices they use on vegetables is just fantastic. I'd argue it tastes better than a lot of other vegan options. Definitely better than most of the I can't believe it's not hot dogs, fake meats and cheeses. Not sure where it says that Linda and Ben are white? As a person of color, I would like to point out that while Linda definitely sounds racist, assuming that she's white itself is racist. It's not only white people who are capable of being racist. In fact, out of the 5 specific incidents of racism I have personally experienced, 4 out of 5 were from other people of color. Bro, come on, rolling eyes face. I don't think it's racist to assume that it was a white person complaining that the food was too ethnic. That's a racist dog whistle that wouldn't even make sense coming out of a non-white person's mouth, and let's be honest, only a white person is getting mad that you babysat and fed their child for free. The most horrific racist tirade I ever heard was from a black man aimed at a Hispanic woman and an Asian man. The Hispanic woman was a server in a restaurant and the Asian man was having trouble with the menu and asking questions. The black man got tired of waiting, it wasn't long, maybe a minute, and went off. His friends with him tried to calm him down, but that only made it worse. He was just a butt. He was told to leave, they had to get security, the works. His friends were so apologetic. They felt just horrible. If there is one thing I have learned in my life, it's that every race has loudmouthed buttholes. The sad thing about that is that the media tends to paint them as representative instead of the exception. Racism is a mindset and anyone can be racist. This comment is why I sometimes don't agree with this sub. People just take a narrative and try to one-up each other by making the harshest comments possible. That's fair, and people from every culture can certainly be xenophobic. For me personally, I assumed Linda was white because I'm white, and her response sounds like a reaction some of my relatives would have. You're right about people running with a narrative, too. In my case, I've caught myself doing it a couple of times, probably more. Those are the times I noticed, and I think one factor is that there are usually a lot of replies, and, as someone reads through them, I think it's easy to take people's assumptions as fact after reading them a few times. Then I've taken a step back or else double-checked the post and realized that my interpretation may not be consistent with what was said. It can definitely be a problem. Just wait until she finds out that falafel and hummus weren't actually invented in California. Or that Hinduism is actually a religion and not just a marketing tool to appeal to white vegan women. Plot twist: Linda's not white, she's just in butthole. Also, I am sick of the stupid Indian food is spicy thing that everyone seems to think. Unless the dish is actually supposed to be spicy, then it normally isn't. Spicy and salt aren't the same thing. This is so true. In my experience, this also applies to Thai food, Mexican food, Greek food, and many more. My husband's family is terrified of anything non-American. And they don't have a clue what seasoning is. Salt and pepper is all they know, maybe a little rosemary for some razzle-dazzle. I wish my in-laws knew what rosemary is. One of my seals eats nothing more than frozen bean and cheese burritos, hot dogs slathered in mayo, and McDonald's chicken nuggets. And I truly mean nothing more than that. It's disgusting. Hot dogs slathered in mayo? Excuse me, ma'am? Sir? My dude? This is a war crime. And honestly, if you want to go vegan, Indian food is the way to go. There are so many cuisines and recipes to choose from. Anthony Bourdain said he didn't miss meat when he had Indian vegetarian meals. Also, some Indian communities are more vegan than vegans. Jains don't even eat root vegetables like potatoes and onions because the bulb is seen as a living being with potential to sprout and is home to tiny living beings. So her vegan outrage is some hot bullcrap. Jesus, Indian food is actually quite vegetarian friendly and easy to make vegan. Linda's just an effing racist. I agree about the possible racist point. However, veganism isn't a butthole move. Parents get to feed their children the diet they choose. A child doesn't have some weird right to meat. All children get to eat what's on the table, and when they are old enough to buy their food, then they get to choose other things. Not the butthole. She told you her child's restrictions, and you adhered to that. If anything, she should be asking you what it was so that she can expand his tastes even further, since most children tend to be picky. You successfully watched a child for free and fed him healthy food he enjoyed in the meantime. Don't feel bad. The mom might want to be able to just keep making sandwiches, minimal time and effort, instead of cooking interesting and tasty food. She could always call it a special occasion food if she doesn't want to make complex meals often rather than demonizing it. She might also be feeling inadequate or offended because her kid chose someone else's food over what she made. I knew tons of moms growing up who took it super personally when their kid didn't eat the lunch they packed. I'm guessing that's where some of her anger might be coming from, deep down. But that doesn't excuse her actions or make what she said any less rude or racist. Exactly this. My darling mother actually felt threatened when, at age 7, I started eating truly Japanese and Mexican food at my friends' houses. We had a real talk about it, and bless her soul, she even admitted that she wasn't the best cook in town. But man, oh man, my ma could bake up a storm. Waking up to the smell of baked goods, and getting cake scraps with your breakfast was the best. For the love of all that is lovely, let all the world's dishes combine. Not the butthole. I'm not surprised the child chose roti over a sandwich. Who wouldn't choose homemade Indian food over a vegetable sandwich? I'm imagining the sandwich: bread, mayo, lettuce, mayo, bread. The mom doesn't know mayo isn't vegan. My vegan friend used to be given just plain lettuce sandwiches for his school dinner. Just 2 slices of brown bread with a bit of lettuce between. I think he pretty much lived off of dry cereal as he was a picky eater. Red. His parents were terrible cooks. That's the part that I throw away when I eat a sandwich. I'm not Indian, but for a month one of my best friend was a guest in my house, and she's from India. She cooked so many things, while I was desperately taking notes. But I never managed to master the roti. I always mess it up. Not the butthole sounds like white fragility. Edit. I turned off notifications, so fight amongst yourselves why you think reverse racism is real. Now more likely an American thing, the majority of Europeans love a variety of cuisines from all over the world. Just try to take curry vindaloo away from a Brit or a ridgetafel away from a Dutchman, going to end in a riot. Can't speak for the rest of Europe, but in Britain, while we do admittedly enjoy a wide variety of cuisines, we still very much have a rampant racism problem. And the racists will happily drone on in their gammony ways while also eating a chicken tikka masala with zero hint of irony. I love the Buy British for Brexit Facebook group where everyone has a meltdown daily because they can't find good pasta/cured meat/exotic fruit strawberries in January made in GB. I got my Belgian ex and his family to try an Indonesian ridgetafel when I was still living in Belgium. They loved it so much that at least once a year we drive 2 hours to go to a good Indonesian restaurant for it. Despite that we've been broken up for more than 4 years, they still do this yearly. I wouldn't even say it's an American thing, this sounds like an butthole thing. Most Americans enjoy trying new foods. Not the butthole. If he was transitioning to a vegan/vegetarian diet, she should have told you no meats when describing his restrictions, a moot point since your meal was vegan. I really think that she might be more jealous that he liked food you cooked rather than eating the sandwich she made. That might be why she talked about how it was too spicy and would make her sick, etc. She couldn't/wouldn't make this for her child and is upset someone else could. It was wrote as an eggplant veg curry. To be perfectly fair though, no meats wouldn't occur to me to say if I packed my kid a lunch already. The allergy notice is appropriate to disclose though. If I were babysitting someone's child for the first time, I would expect them to tell me about food restrictions. If they did bring a lunch for the kid, I would just think that that was just not expecting me to pay out of pocket to feed their kid, especially while I'm babysitting free. Not the butthole. She told you his restrictions and his allergies, which you held up. She just sounds like a racist. Not the butthole. Parents must be clear about food restrictions with sitters. If they don't specify, then you should be able to offer any healthy option on hand to the kid. It makes no sense to consult parent about every little thing. If she can't trust your judgment on this, then why is she leaving the kid with you? You did a favor and this lady insulted you by implying your food will make her kid sick. Ignorant and rude. Stop doing favors for this lady. If she can't trust your judgment on this, then why is she leaving the kid with you? Exactly. If you don't trust someone enough to give your kid food, how can you trust them to babysit? Not the butthole. Not the butthole. And don't forget to play the reverse Uno card and let her know her ethnic food logic is straight up racist. Not the butthole, her racism is showing. Not the butthole. My son loves brinjal sabzi. If a 7-year-old voluntarily ate it, it surely wasn't too spicy. It's highly unlikely Ben will get sick, and it's bizarre that his mother is punishing him, and you, for him wanting to try new food. If she's trying to teach him to be vegan, shouldn't she be grateful that you've introduced him to a vegan food that he likes? I suggest you do not watch Ben anymore, and particularly not for free. As another parent, thank you for being so good to Ben and for being so willing to help your neighbor out. I hope this won't deter you from doing a nice thing for another neighbor sometime. Not the butthole. You cannot respect restrictions that you do not know. You gave her something healthy and without almonds, that was your job, and she is just being dramatic. Not the butthole. Of course, She could always simply pay someone to watch her kid and solve her problem that way. This was a Dear Prudence letter. Web link. Man, vegan Indian food is the best out there, they've been doing it for ages. That poor kid. Not the butthole. Not the butthole Linda is racist. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to be the first to know about Red Rabbit Reader's new videos. If you like our videos, please like them on YouTube and share them with your friends. We welcome your comments below. Press to start another of our videos.